Hi there, guys. I'm with Lee Bradshaw, the chairman of the Labour students here at UCLan and also the youth officer for Preston CLP. Lee, I understand you weren't too pleased with the fact that there wasn't an LGBT officer on Northwest Young Labour Committee. What are your thoughts on the matter?
Well, I think it's quite shocking that a labour organisation, especially a youth organisation that's all about challenging diversity, not challenging diversity, but promoting diversity and equality and fighting discrimination, has black and Asian minorities covered, women covered and disabled covered, and yet the LGBT position wasn't theirs to fill, although it is in the Labour Party rules book that they would have one. So I found, and the reaction that I got at the conference was below par. I thought it was ridiculous, and I think it needs sorting as soon as possible. I think there needs to be definite LGBT representation on the committee.
Okay, well, as you heard, Lee wasn't too pleased with that, but just to let you know, we are working on that. The committee has spoken about it and it will be dealt with as soon as possible. My other question for you was that in a time very difficult for the youth in the United Kingdom, what decision did the government make that caused the most damage to today's society?
God, which decision do you want? There's so many. It's failure on the economy, which has led to nearly so many young people under 24 unemployed, cutting of EMA, raising of tuition fees. I mean, the list is endless. This is a government that seems purpose-built to go after young people and people that are disadvantaged, and that's who it's going for, and that's the results that we're seeing now with the NHS bill, the welfare bill that's going through, as I say, from September. Tuition fees are going to be £9,000 a year. £9,000. When I did my undergrad degree, I paid £1,000 a year, which I didn't agree with that either. But £9,000 in less than 7 years, that's the rise. EMA that so many students relied on to get to college, just to get there, not just to study. And it's a generation that could be lost if there isn't something done very soon.
Lee, what projects are you working on for the near future?
Well, as youth officer for Preston, one of the things that me, yourself and a few others setting up is Preston Young Labour. After the massive success that we had with Labour students here at UCLan, we felt that the time was right to try and get young people from across Preston more interested in the Labour Party. And also with doing that opens the age range up, because it's 15 to 26 within Young Labour, so we should hopefully get a bigger uptake of it. We're also running in sabbatical elections here at the university. We've got that coming up. And yeah, that's kind of what we've got. We've got 6 people running in elections. That's taking up a lot of time at the moment, so hopefully that'll go really well.
Definitely quite a lot of hard work there. Lee, also, it is quite difficult times for families in general. What do you think, what would you do in such a situation to improve the matter?
I think one thing that really has to be taken into consideration, I mean, Labour came out with it before Christmas, and I fully support the 5-point economic plan for jobs and growth. I think it's really important that the government, especially now we've got international ratings agencies saying that we're under review, I think it's really important that the government really do look at that. Things like a £2 billion tax on banks to get more people, especially young people, off the unemployment list, and bringing into long-term investment programmes like building schools and roads, like the scrapping of the new buildings scheme for high schools was just shocking, and also trying to reverse the VAT tax rise that they brought, because 20% is ridiculously high in the middle of a recession. And those and the other points that they mentioned, I think it's really important to get those across and bring those in, because I think that'll have a really good impact on the economy.
Definitely. Lee, my last question. As you know, the Labour Party battles for equality and fairness. What more can the party do to achieve this task?
Well, in government we have a great record with LGBT, women, disabled rights, black and Asian rights. We did really well with the minority strands while in government. Outside of government it's a lot more difficult. Obviously you don't have power, but I think where we do have power, looking at local authorities, local councils, is making sure that they're on the ball with making sure that fairness runs through all the things. Even in these times of devastating cuts, fairness should be at the top of what all council budgets and those kind of things are looking at. We should stand behind the gay marriage rights thing that's going through at the moment. I know on Valentine's Day there was a massive protest in Scotland for gay marriage, but also fighting things like the welfare bill in Parliament, which is just crippling families, especially disabled families and families with disabled people and carers. It's just crippling them, and we really need to make sure that as a force we're fighting against them as vocally as possible to show that this isn't the way forward for our country, and Labour is the only people that can do that now. The Lib Dems have started sleeping with the enemy almost.
Well, that was Lee Bradshaw, Youth Officer for Preston CRP and Chairman of Labour Young Students here at UCLan. Thank you very much, Lee. Hopefully we'll see you again soon.
Definitely, anytime.
Well, there you go, guys. That was our interview. Please do follow us on Twitter, Facebook and our YouTube page. Do subscribe and stay tuned for our next updates and other interviews. Thank you very much.